Hi, I'm going to talk about the Lowe's credit card. If you've watched some of my other credit card videos, you'll know that in some respects I greatly prefer credit cards that are just, let's say, cash back on everything you buy. But in order to get the much higher discounts, like the 5% discount this Lowe's card gives you, you have to get cards specific to, like an Amazon card specific to Amazon, or a card specific to a store. So the Lowe's card has a couple valuable things, and it has a couple cons. But what is really interesting, and I'll get to this as I go through, particularly at the end, I'll explain why I really think you might want to get this particular card, depending upon how you think the next 6, 12, 18 months are going to go with the economy, and I'll explain why. First off, let's talk about the Lowe's credit card. Two things about it. Sign-up bonus, real quick, 20% coupon. That's huge, right? Now there are some caveats. So just by signing up, they're going to give you a coupon that you have to obviously use at Lowe's. And it's through, depending upon when you're watching this, January 31st of 25. You're going to get up to $100 back. So they max what you can get back. So you can't get 20% of a $5,000 item. But you can get 20% up to a $500 purchase. So you buy something $500 or less, you'll be able to get 20% back. They have a couple things that I'm just going to note here, what I saw in the terms and conditions. You're going to have to ask a cashier to do this for you, so don't go to self-checkout, because they're going to give you a coupon either in the mail or email you a barcode that you're going to have to present so they can take it off. Also, they don't allow you to combine it with other discounts. I'm going to put a couple links in the description to the terms and description, or I should say the terms and conditions that the credit card has, because they go into various things. But just know that it basically has got to be a full price item. Okay, that's the sign up. You're basically going to get $100 back when you purchase up to $500 worth of stuff. Okay, now, full time, this is why you're getting this card. And there's another reason why. I'll explain in a moment. 5% back, and essentially it's on full price items. So just think of that Amazon card giving you 5% back when you purchase through Amazon, or that Walmart card doing essentially the same. If Lowe's is your store and you go there often, 5% is excellent. Now you really can't combine it with a lot of things. I'll put the link to that as well. But you can't combine it with a lot of the other reduced price items. So if they have something that's already substantially reduced, and it's one of these value items they put at the end of the aisle, and it's already been slashed, and they've got a special notation, you may not be able to get the 5% on that item. But everything else you'll be able to. And what is nice is whether you buy it in the store or online, you also get the 5%. Now, two things that are unique about this. The first one I'm going to show you here in a second is that you get to choose when you check out from 3 different things. One being, do you want the 5%? Or they have 2 other offers for you. So here are your options when you're purchasing something from them that you get to choose from. And the real reason I think you might want to consider getting the Lowe's card is this, but more importantly, what I'm about to show you in a second. So when you go to checkout, you'll be able to choose, hey, I just want the 5% off on this particular item. Or if you can't pay for all of it right away, using that credit card, they have 2 other offers you can choose from. If your item is more than $300, or I should say $299 or more, you can choose to pay it in 6 months. So you'll get 6 months to pay off the item you're purchasing. However, this is very important. If you do not pay it in that 6-month period of time in full, so let's say you got a $300 item, and during that 6 months, you don't pay it in full, you only pay $200 of it, well then you're going to have to pay full interest. And they're going to calculate the interest from the very first month. So that interest that was accruing, you're going to have to pay the item plus all of the interest. So just make sure that you pay that off within the 6 months. And here's the real piece that I do not like that they do this, and they do this on purpose, and it's not right. And here's what they do. They say that the minimum payments may not pay it off. What does that mean? So you go and you purchase a $300 item, and they say, you know what? Your minimum payment is going to be $40 a month. Now you just see, for my $300 item, 6 months, what's my payment? They gave me a payment. Okay, so when I pay this for 6 months, I should pay it off. No, because 6 times 40 is $240. So it's possible that they will give you a payment that will be less than what the item is in 6 months. Thereby, they'll be able to enact this clause that says, oh, guess what? You have to pay full interest. So you need to pay close attention to make sure that you do indeed pay off the item within 6 months. If you have a $40 payment, do the math. 6 times 40 is $240. Well, within the 6 months, you better add another $60 or they're going to hit you with full interest. It's something sneaky that I don't think anyone should do. But if you're paying attention and you know what the deal is, then you can make sure you pay it in 6 months and you'll be fine. No interest. That's nice. If you've got to go in there and you got to buy a washer or a dryer and you think you're going to have enough money within a 6 month period of time, but you don't have it all right now, no interest is better than what they're doing these days with 30% interest. And this card is actually 32% interest. We'll get to that. Now, the third option that they have, if your purchase is over $2,000, so you're buying a fairly large ticket item, which isn't uncommon if you got to get a refrigerator, a washer, a dryer, an appliance, whatever it may be, you can have 84 months, which is 7 years, at essentially 10%, 9.99%. So just to give you an example, on a $2,000 item, you would end up paying $2,800, $2,788.13. So you'd end up paying about $2,800, but you're going to be able to spread that out over 7 years. So if you're in a pickle and you do have, it's 2,000 plus, 2,000 or over, maybe you've got a washer and a dryer and the total plus installation, whatever it may be, could be a couple $1,000s. It might be to your benefit. 9.99 is at the moment, this being March of 2024, that is probably less than you're going to get if you went out and tried to get a personal loan or something like that. And this is one of the things I want to get to. One of the benefits of this Lowe's card is that you have an option of getting essentially financing on a $2,000 or more purchase instantly. In other words, you're not calling up the bank and saying, hey, I got to buy some things, I need a personal loan, and they say, great, fill out this form, send it in, notarize it, jump up and down, bark like a dog, pay us a fee, and maybe 2 weeks from now we're going to give you the money you need. No. You get to just click and say, you know what? I'm buying this today. I want that rate. That's one of the benefits of this Lowe's card, is that you've got essentially built-in approval for some of the things you might need for your home. Now let's get to 2 other offers that I think are excellent that you get automatically because you have the Lowe's card. So here are the 2 other unique offers that you get automatically by having this Lowe's card. And when I say automatically, you're essentially pre-approved. By having this card, you can choose one of these offers. You don't have to go through an approval process. First is on appliances, flooring, and HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning. If it's a $300 or more purchase, you can do 12 months with no interest. Remember on the prior one, you had the 3 options. One of them was 6 months with no interest. So this works the same way. You need to pay the entire item off, whatever it is, within 12 months. Otherwise, the penalty is you do have to pay that interest that would have accrued. So automatically 12 months no interest. That's great. These items are usually fairly expensive. 0% for 12 months is fantastic. HVAC is the second offer, just for HVAC items if they're over $2,500. So if you need HVAC and you're up to $2,500, you get 12 months 0. If it's over $2,500, you get to choose. Do you want this one, 12 months 0 interest? Let's say the item's $4,000. Or do you want this one? This one is 120 months, which is 10 years. Right? 10 times 12 is 120. 9.99%. So just like the other example on the other page, you can get not 84 months, but if it's heating or air conditioning, you're going to be able to get 120 months at 9.99%. Again, you don't have to apply. You automatically get that. Now I'm going to go over the cons of the card in a second. But for me, the value of this card is twofold. One, you're getting 5% off everything you buy at Lowe's, online or in the store, as long as it's pretty much a regularly priced item. So if you go quite a bit, you're not going to beat that. There are cashback cards that might give you 2% or 2.5. This is giving you 5%. The other thing to note is that you don't have to apply for any of these items. When you need, in the middle of the summer, and it's blazing hot, and you need a new air conditioning unit, you're going to be able to choose, do you want that 5% off? Do you want the 6 months, no interest? Do you want the 84-month financing? Do you want, depending upon the cost, do you want to do it in 12 months with 0 interest? Do you want 120 months, a 10-year? Essentially, you can get a 10-year loan at 10%, which isn't terrible in today's rate environment, and you don't have to apply for it. Again, you don't have to call the bank, you don't have to do all that paperwork. You just get it automatically. So oftentimes the saying is, sometimes you want to get something or apply for something when you don't need it, when you're in the best financial condition. So if your credit score isn't that bad and you've got a job right now and you can apply and get this card, it might be something you want to keep in your back pocket in case you run into problems, particularly if maybe the economy doesn't go well and you were to lose your job. Imagine calling the bank to get a personal loan for an air conditioning unit. They're not going to give it to you if you're out of work, chances are. At least it would be very difficult. However, you've already got the Lowe's card. They're not asking you again when you check out, hey, did you happen to lose your job? So you'll be able to get potentially this financing if you've gotten that card. So this is something you may want to consider getting and keeping in your back pocket if you shop there often for 5%, or if you just want to be able to have an option of getting financing on something for your house that you absolutely may need to get. Refrigerator, air conditioning, something that you got to get, but you may not have the money for. Anyway, those are all of the positives. Now, the cons, and I'm just going to say 32% interest rate on new purchases. So don't buy things on the credit card that you don't intend to pay off before the end of the month, unless you're using special financing. And the second negative thing is they have a lease-to-own program that I would stay away from. Like I said, I'm going to put links in the description. They have a calculator. Lease to own, I'm just going to tell you that I just ran some numbers in their calculator. And for example, you could purchase a $2,000 item. They have 12-month lease to own terms where you make payments monthly. I think it was maybe on a $2,000 item, it might have been about $350. But at the end of that 12 months, in order to then own it, the total would be $4,300 roughly. So a $2,000 item would cost you $400 to $300. So they have lease-to-own options. It doesn't look like they're any good. Highway robbery, take a look. I'm sure they have reasons for why they do that. Maybe people buy things and then they never make their payments and they can't get the item back. I don't know. But that's something to stay away from. That's not really necessarily related to the credit card, but that's just something I wouldn't partake in. What they do have, and I'm going to show you here in a second, is their online calculator, which is actually really nice. Other cards should do this. You're going to put in the price of the item, and it's going to show you all the various options, and you just pick one. So here's the Lowe's calculator. The link is below. All you do up here at the top is put in an item. Let's say in this case, we did $2,000. Hit calculate. It's going to give you those 3 different options. Special financing. This is their 6 months. In 6 months, if you pay it off without any interest, $334 per month, total of $2,000. So no interest on that 6-month deal. That's how much it would cost you a month. Then if you want to do what they call their everyday discount, which is basically the 5% off, so you pay it all at once, you're going to pay $1,900 instead of $2,000. You're going to save $100 on that item. Then they've got their fixed monthly payments, the 84 months at 10%. You would have 84 fixed payments at $34. As long as you make those payments for 84 months, you'll have it paid off, but you'll pay a total of $2,789. So you can get $100 off instantly, or you can pay it over 6 months with fixed payments, or you can pay it over 84 months with fixed payments. I failed to mention here on the special financing, they also have the 12-month special financing, but that's only for specific things like we discussed, appliances, flooring, and HVAC. And in that case, it would be $167 in a total of 12, because for the 12 months, you get 0% interest on that as well. So thanks for watching. I hope this has been helpful. I always appreciate a subscribe because you'll see some of the more upcoming videos, and leave some comments about why you would or wouldn't use this card. It helps me out, helps the channel out, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.